Carnation, made by Nestle, as well as all the Nestle candy that you're aware of. This week, we're talking a lot about consumer behavior, buying processes, influencers, packaging, research, and more of that. In terms of the buying processes, I hope you were able to read the chapter and really understand the 5 critical stages. Functional versus psychological in terms of consumer behavior, why consumers purchase when they do, how those influences affect their needs assessment, what consumers go through, all the stages in terms of when they have a need, the search for those opportunities or products that they're looking for, how they come down to that core product and how they make the final selection, and how marketing may impact all of that. Business to business, a little bit different, as you saw in the textbook. We had a lemonade stand and somebody drinking lemonade. So which was it? The person who bought the lemons to make lemonade and use it for themselves, that was a business to consumer model. The person who bought the lemons to sell lemonade, that was a B2B model. Very easy, very simple concept to understand, but considering it even further, what is B2B? B2B. We oftentimes, in our offices, purchase a variety of things, from papers to copiers to computers. Every time we work with somebody, whether it's Xerox, whether it's HP, whether it's Apple, we are in a B2B type of aspect. We are the purchaser, they are the seller to us, and the process that we go to in terms of really understanding what the best benefit is, we go through procurement. We have different roles, obviously. The user role, who's going to be utilizing the product, the person who handles the budget, overseeing how many should we purchase, what's the return, what's the cost per thousand on it. All of these components in terms of the B2B environment are done every single day, a million times a day, in a variety of different industries. So B2B, business to business, selling, versus B2C, business to consumer selling. That kind of provides an overall on that, and understanding as well the roles within B2B, culture, different situations that occur, and how critical the role of salespeople are in that aspect. Then you went on to chapter 9, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Key. Thinking about an overall, you're a market segment, right? Market segment is students, but then there are certain targets within, whether it's gender segmentation, male versus female, age segmentation, a variety, where you live segmentations, your majors, they're all different segments. So when a brand looks at it and determines, how am I going to market to a different segment? So when you look at different products, think of Coca-Cola, and even some of the Coca-Cola aspects in terms of when they market to a certain segment. Who does core Coca-Cola go to versus Diet Coca-Cola? Also, some of the juices that Coca-Cola has, a different market indeed that they may be going towards. Considering all of these aspects, what's a mainstream product? Maybe a Tide, maybe something along those lines, versus a niche, a very specified area where maybe only a certain target audience is extremely interested in that. So thinking about different niches throughout and different ways to look at it. So runners, that can be a niche market. Horse riders, that can be a niche market. Animal lovers, etc. You can really slim down and look at the different niches within an overall segment and find out how lucrative it is. What's the income? What's the demographic? And are they the right target to market your brand to? Critical in terms of segmentation, targeting, and positioning, and understanding the STP model. What's the objective overall? What's your method? How are you evaluating whether you have the right target audience, whether you segmented it right? How do you select the overall target that's most lucrative? And finally, how do you position your product? Think about the products that are positioned to you, that reach to you. How are they different than maybe someone else in your family, in your friends? What products get marketed to you that you feel you are brand loyal to, but also that the marketer understands your needs? Whether it's anything from toothpaste to dinner foods to restaurants. It's all brands that are marketing to you based on your overall profile that they understand. It's a critical aspect within marketing, and behind it all, data. Exactly. So then we go to chapter 10. Market research. Market research is the core to understand, and there's quantitative as well as qualitative. Quantitative, think large quantities, big, massive studies. Mall intercept studies. Have you ever been stopped in a mall or in a shopping center, anywhere, and asked, can we have your opinion on some products? They're gaining mass amount of responses to understand. Also online allows for a lot of mass responses. Qualitative, A lot of times maybe a focus group, something along the lines of you're trying to really tease out a message. What's the best positioning? When Nike went out and came out with Just Do It, did they do research? Did they understand, does this really translate to the core brand and to the ultimate athlete that we have? Does this give the motivation and is this positioning for our target? And will this positioning translate across all of Nike's key stakeholders and all of the aspects that they have for the brand? These are things to think about in terms of market research. Understanding what your objective is when you design a survey. How you're going to design it. Is it going to be a quick survey? Is it going to be a focus group? What the overall points are. How you evaluate the research. How you understand it. And then core, what actions are you going to do? What did that research tell you to allow you to really pull through, this is the outcome of this research and this means this. This is the right positioning, this is the right color for this ad, whatever it may be. Market research can be quantitative, qualitative, and it can cover everything from a brand new product to a seasoned product that may be changing their positioning or adding a brand or line extension. But market research is at the core because data is all behind it. Then, Chapter 11, product and packaging. We often talk about a lot of different aspects, even co-branding and co-packaging. So a couple of examples. Coca-Cola. We have somebody on our board that oversees all of Coca-Cola analytics, and he actually provided to us some insight. When Coca-Cola went with this white packaging and did the polar bears, they got a lot of feedback, and consumers were very frustrated because they didn't believe the real Coca-Cola was in this product. They thought it was a different flavor, something just for holidays. So Coca-Cola had to go back and do a lot of communication and transparency on it. Also, other forms of packaging. What about co-branding? This is Gymboree, but actually it's a Tide sample in here, targeted towards moms and dads whose children, they purchase clothing from the Gymboree store brand, and Gymboree has done a co-promotion. So what's inside here? A sample of Tide as well as a coupon to let the consumer know we're doing a co-promotion and Tide is the best product that you can use to clean the Gymboree clothing with. That's what this messaging is saying, and this was included in every shopping bag a year or so ago when Gymboree and Tide did a co-promotion. Very important to know the mix in terms of product. The mix, the marketing, all the different components, and of course, brand equity. No one can really isolate what specifically brand equity is, but it's the amount of trust, the amount of awareness that a brand gets over time. If I can isolate it to two different brands, Coca-Cola versus RC Cola. Brand equity for Coca-Cola is more valued than the actual product that is sold day by day on the shelf because of the word Coca-Cola. When you think of that and the equity and how other brands want to be tied to it. Equity is something that is based on the marketing and the positioning that hasn't been done for another product that really changes and expands it. So when you look at products, you have points of parity, they could all be sodas. Points of differentiation, Coca-Cola, the red that they own, the heritage, Santa Claus, everything that they've developed. So consider all of those key concepts that you went through this week. I hope if you have not yet done, you're going to be taking the midterm. Good luck on it. 25% of your grade. You have 50 minutes to take the test. 25 questions, a multitude of true false as well as multiple choice. And it closes at 11:55. So please make sure you complete it today. And we will see you next week. Class starts on the 10th. So class will be starting on Sunday this week. And this is the third and final week of class. See you Sunday for more information.